Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got Gabe Sayers here today from TFCrew, and I believe that did you not have a title victory recently? A tag team title victory, correct?
I did, unfortunately. I actually won
Unfor
the. Yeah, I know. Shockingly, a tag title victory that comes unfortunately. I actually won the tag titles with my biggest rival in professional wrestling, Jeff Nova. The
Okay.
same guy who about 2.5 years ago, about 6 months after my open heart surgery, punched me square in the chest and had his little group of little Raven wannabes stop me out in the middle of the ring. Yeah, so really unfortunate, actually, quite frankly.
Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine. So this is our first time having you here on the show, and
Mhm.
we've or I've attended one of your events
Mhm.
one prior.
Yep.
Otis has been to a few,
Yep.
and to my surprise, now I think you know my I'm very opinionated when it comes to professional wrestling and
Of
certain
course.
styles of professional wrestling, which we'll
Mhm.
not totally get into. But there's variety for every single person on the planet.
Yep.
Hmm.
Catch my drift. Professional wrestling is a variety show.
Mhm.
However, I was impressed. I'm impressed by multiple things that you guys do actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Social media views, YouTube
Oh yeah.
views, the crowds that you bring are fucking amazing. Pardon my
Thank you.
language.
Of
You
mhm.
guys pack the house.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, Tom Bryce from Sportswire Radio.
I love Tom Bryce. It's a good friend.
Yeah, yeah, great guy. Shout out to Tom. Hello, Tom. And we've recently been uh, gotten acquainted with each other and speak
Hmm.
online a little bit, but he's been a huge supporter of yours for a long time. But
Yep.
you have a group of very dedicated fans
Yep.
that are part of your brand, and I find it completely amazing. I don't know if it's the age group or
Hmm.
what have you, or just the shock of amazement with certain things that you guys do. But tell me, what goes into putting on your show, and how do you get all this stuff done?
I think the beauty of like the TF crew is that it is truly a melting pot, just like our roster is. Roster is not only a background of just race, creed, ethnicity, sexuality, all of the above, right? We're also a melting pot of where we're all from, like state-wise. So it's not a lot of Connecticut guys. We have a lot that come from Mass, Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. We've had Maryland. We've had people come up from Florida, like all of the above. We're a melting pot of a company, and that reflects upon our styles as well when it comes to producing the shows. I like to have a little bit of everything. That's always my goal, is how do I put a little bit of everything out there? And I will say, I think our previous show, Syndicate Siege, was our most diverse show by far. And that's like, that was my favorite kind of shows. Our first ever women's match in TF crew history was between Francesca Chini and Emily Saxton, which was awesome, absolutely awesome to put on. And then we had, the classic David versus Goliath matchup with like Wrecking Ball Legursky versus Corey Duke. Fantastic match, great
Two
energy, crowd
two
loved it.
amazing competitors right there,
Right?
and I'm really high on Corey Duke.
Me too.
And I think that, mind you, he's what, a year and a half, 2 years into the business.
Exactly.
And
Hmm.
look at
Mm-hmm.
the shit that this kid's doing out there. Look at the smoothness
Yeah,
of his
his game.
performance. And I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, man, I love that guy. And a hell of a great guy too. And Wrecking Ball Legursky,
Yep.
look at this guy. NWA
Yep.
talent, former NWA United States champion, and that guy is all over the place currently. So
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I loved Corey. I think his decision to join Angel with the Syndicate was a little sketchy. But I also understand that the cowboy has to diversify himself. You know what I mean? You can't
yeah,
always be the sweet, fun-loving cowboy at every place you go. Sometimes
right.
you do have to kind of test the waters and see what you can do. So joining Angel, morally correct, no, but also a not terrible business decision for a strictly business end for him, I will say. Part of what I thought was so fun about the card is then you had like a true main event feel for Angel versus Cheeseburger. That was what a fun match. Cheeseburger also, to just say, he's a fantastic human, such a nice guy, so positive, and so many people coming up to him asking for advice. He was out there watching matches, giving advice. What a overall just positive human being, wants to see the best for professional wrestling, and really just cared about TF Crew, even though it was his first time coming. And again, that's I keep speaking on, you get some really fun characters at TF Crew as well. The Cheenies, who we don't see a ton of in Connecticut, I think are one of the most underrated tag teams in the circuit right now, especially in this Northeast scene. The Cheenies can be seen everywhere in the Jersey, PA area, but they're not really seen up here in this area. And they're gold. They are magic. And seeing them against Bloodsaw and LJ Wash was fantastic because LJ Wash, a showman himself, and Bloodsaw. I mean, how could you ever go wrong with Bloodsaw, right? You could stick Bloodsaw in any single match, from the most violent match of all time to the funniest match of all time and everything in between, and it's going to be a great match. I don't know a more Swiss Army skill set wrestler right now in this Northeast than Bloodsaw. I truly think you could stick him anywhere, and he's going to make everything entertaining and awesome. So an awesome match in that sense. Again, I had the hardcore match of the night. We are pushing now more of a hardcore product. We're not much of the death match anymore. We're more hardcore because we do
Mhm.
believe that all types of wrestling have a place at the TF Crew, but we've decided that hardcore fits us best. We found that nice middle ground. We've tested the waters on both sides, and we feel good about where we're at in the hardcore. Um, of course, unfortunately, Mikey Anarchy, my tag partner, got injured during the match, separated his shoulder during the match, had to leave. I took the 2-on-1 for a while until Jeff Nova, my old rival, came back and decided to get back at his old team that betrayed him to about a year ago at Jeff's last actual professional wrestling event. This is his first professional wrestling event since being betrayed by his own team, and got back at his old team, and we won the tag straps. But putting a card like that together is, to me, so much about how do we get the fans a little bit of everything. We have musical performances, we have diverse matches, we have high energy, high octane, big characters. How do we give the fans a little bit of everything? And that's what I credit having such a loyal audience to, is the fact that if you didn't like that match, that's totally fine because the next one's going to be completely different.
Right. You guys, well, you mentioned musicians. You've also had comedians, correct? In
Mm-hmm.
between,
Mm-hmm.
during intermission and such. And you
Absolutely.
mentioned these people travel from all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
to come see you guys. Now, this reminds me, in a way, you guys have that hardcore fan base
Mm-hmm.
and that are dedicated to watching you guys. This reminds me of a time period
Mm-hmm.
back in the early mid 90s, late 90s, where I used to travel all the time around the East Coast just to go see ECW shows because they would very rarely they would come to Connecticut, but it wasn't that often. We were
Right.
in New York, Massachusetts. We'd end up we were in Buffalo for pay-per-view stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was something. Even Ring of Honor, people were
Yeah.
traveling for Ring of Honor shows. People would come, and you'd read on message boards that the hotels that they stayed at were grimy because they didn't do the proper research, and it's always fun, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I mean, it's something special that you guys have here, and I've spoken with Bloodsaw about it. He goes, because I think we're having some sort of conversation. He said he's got to give it to you guys. You guys have a dedicated fan base. You guys, as a crew, are dedicated, and you guys making everything work, and it's just an awesome, kind of like a brotherhood, like a
Yep.
fraternity. You guys are
Mm-hmm.
really just dedicated to what you do.
Yeah, I tell everybody, like, number one, TF Crew is a family. Number two, we're a business. Obviously, we're here to make money. We're here to not lose money on shows. More importantly, we're here to get everybody a couple bucks in their pocket, have a
Right.
great time, etc. But number one, we're a family, and we have to have that open line of communication. And I think that's one of the biggest starts we have, is that the fact that we want everybody to communicate with each other, positive, negative, in between, everything. If you're not voicing your opinions and you're bottling that stuff up, the bottle explodes at some point, and then that's how bridges get burned, unhappiness sets, fights on social media, this, that, and the other. If you have any concern, I always encourage people to come to me, because that's exactly that's how we fix it. You have to nip it in the bud. We have to get it done and fixed now, whether that's me giving in, them giving in. Somebody has to give at, you know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. We're a family, and we promote that family. Our roster, to give them credit, is part of the reason that we have this success. Is I'm so pressuring them. I'll make sure we get people in this building. We've been blessed to have 5 consecutive shows with over 100 plus in attendance. We're hoping the Milford Mall show will be number 6, of course, and we are pushing people to get people in the building. And that's the testament of my hardworking crew. I've pulled some of these people from anywhere and everywhere. I had the absolute opportunity and blessing to wrestle Wrecking Ball at Pro Wrestling Vanguard, or wow, sorry, Vanguard, and I did that in the first promo for the show. I felt so bad. I immediately messaged. I was like, I'm so sorry. I wrestled Wrecking Ball at Vanguard, though, and got to really meet him and shake his hand and have really great conversations with him. And he agreed that he'd love to come to the TF Crew. Fantastic guy. Absolutely fantastic competitor and performer, as always. But that's just one example of how we've brought people into the family. We've also plucked people out of backyards. I've taken talents like Caster, who I think are so uberly talented.
Yeah, I
I
love
mean, again,
Caster.
yeah, 6'4" and a six pack, you can't really go wrong. And taking him out of like a backyard scene and going, all right, we need to get you professionally trained, right? And now the professional training, I actually ended up taking him to Jersey for it. We would drive weekly to Jersey and train under some fantastic people in New Jersey together, getting him up to speed and prepared for this. I've taken him up to Massachusetts, trained for months at a time under some fantastic names in Massachusetts, really helping build him up as not only a wrestler, but something that he's done himself, a character. And it's really made this group of guys, we're all so close and so tight with each other because we've all come from different ways of life, different circumstances, and we all come together as a family to put on the best product possible.
Tell me about the origins of TF Crew and how you guys started, to build this product, and what made you think about, running your shows and such.
So fun fact, I played a game called Roblox growing up. It's a video game, and I actually had my own online promotion on Roblox, which is what started my love of like running promotion style stuff. Which is crazy to think that doing that in a video game would then translate to real life, but it does. Match cards, organizing talent. I need you to show up. We're running live shows on this game, right? I need you to show up at this time, do this. Here's what you're doing in this promo. Whole thing getting right now. Graphics, professional graphic design, the whole nine yards. You're doing in a game, and I went, wow, we could really do this in real life. At this point, I was like, let's throw an homage to backyard wrestling. Let's throw the backyard bash, our first ever show. Big homage to backyard wrestling. Big inspirations from like the GBYWN, which is a fantastic network of like backyard wrestlers that then went, most of them went professional. Alex Zane was from there. Will Ospreay from there. Someone local to our scene, the stepdad, Rad Dad, is from GBYWN. So many great names have come out of that group. We're like, all right, let's throw some homage out to them. And we ran the backyard bash, and the first half was great. Honestly, we had like 80 people in the backyard. It was loud. People were really into it. You had names like Kevin Kidd on the card, which you probably haven't heard from Kevin Kidd in a while, but Kevin Kidd was on the card. Caster was debuting back then.
Hmm.
Great talents on that card, and then the cops came and shut us down halfway through. I lost about $1,200.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, and at that
Jeez.
point, I'm a 19-year-old college student at that point as well. So $1,200
It's a lot
is
of money
no,
for, yeah,
yeah, that hurt. But
yeah.
that pain worked out really well because that's what motivated us to go and, all right, let's make sure everyone's up to a professional speed, professional gear, professional training, looks like a professional, acts like a professional. Let's start getting everybody up to speed, and let's get a building. Let's get a place
Hmm.
that represents this professional nature that we want to put out there. We actually had a really cool looking spot in Meriden called the Meriden Weapons Factory that canceled on us and shut down 5 days before our first ticketed indoor event. And we were like, we're screwed. And to all credit in the world, I called Mario on the phone, explained everything. He goes, how much were you going to give him? I go, X amount. And he goes, sure, come here. Sounds great. And I was, what, really? And Mario saved
Well,
the show.
Mario, if anybody knows Mario, he's got a gigantic heart, and he's
Gigantic.
willing to work with a lot of people and do a lot of things. And not many
Yep.
promotions have taken his building. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He doesn't, so he's got to be close with somebody a lot of times in order for them to let you do that. And I heard of your show the day that it was happening, as it was happening live.
Wow.
I was on social media. I was like, because I go to every single show just about. I really rarely miss
Mm-hmm.
shows that they run. I was like, I didn't know there was a show. I'm looking on their social media, and then I didn't find out until like days later what was actually going on there. And I was like, so I was like really surprised. And then I think it was Otis maybe, or maybe Kevin Saban was telling me what happened that day. Because me and Kevin talk all the time
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
regarding
that was the show that I was at.
it was
That's where
probably
I
the first
first
show
met you,
that,
right, Gabe?
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
and
It was our massacre show.
it was the
That had
winter time, right? I
Yeah,
think.
and
Yeah.
we got snowed in. Like half our talent fans, refs couldn't make it. It was crazy. It was like you look outside, there's a blizzard. Like, all right, shut the door, continue the show. Nobody wants to see the blizzard.
So, yeah, you brought up the Milford show, the
Mhm.
Milford Mall show. Let's talk a little bit about this.
Yeah,
All right, it is, let me see the date here. I have the date here somewhere. Um, Jesus
15.
Christ. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. What'd you say? February 15th. You're right. It's
Yep,
the day after Valentine's Day.
yep,
So you have WWE ID talent Aaron Rourke
yep.
coming on the show. and it's going to be at the Milford Mall. Where in the Milford
Mhm.
Mall is this going to be? Because Otis and I were talking about this on the show last week that you guys were coming up, and this was a quite a popular place when we were young that we used to hang out and thought we were cool at. You know?
The
It was
Milford Post.
cool.
Yeah,
I think I think us running at the Milford Post Mall is such
yeah,
a beyond massive opportunity, but also really speaks to the growth of this team, and it
right,
speaks to the growth of the guys that stuck with us
right.
back when we were going through hardships, trying to figure things out, working through the kinks of everything about running a show. And it speaks to their growth and their dedication to that. So guys like Christopher Black, Caster, Doc Holliday, maybe these guys you guys haven't necessarily heard of, but this is that underground upbringing that the TF crew is bringing. And now they're going to be wrestling in the Milford Post Mall, which is just amazing and massive.
Now, is
And
this a charity event type of
yes,
thing? And
yes,
it's for the Boys and Girls Club of Milford.
yes.
Okay.
So what we did over the summer, we ran a really, really honestly one of the most fun shows I've ever done in my life. Charity show for the Milford Boys and Girls Club at the Milford Boys and Girls Club. I mean, 200 kids out there going haywire for professional wrestling, right? We're setting positive examples of what professional wrestling can be. And our talent that came out, we're like, hey, again, there's no money to make off of this. Like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna pay for the ring out there. If you want to wrestle in front of a bunch of kids that may hate this or may love this, let me know. We set up a group of guys and we just went out there. And honestly, what a fun time. Those kids loved professional wrestling. I watched Caster have to sign about 100 pieces of paper after. Kids are handing him his shoe, their arm, anything that they can get a hold of for him to sign. Uh, it just speaks to the quality of talent and how hardworking they are to take an opportunity like that and make the most of it. The Milford Boys and Girls Club actually loved the event. They thought it was a blast. Good, classic, clean fun. We had one of our heels bring out Roblox cards. He goes, "You want Roblox cards? You want Roblox cards?" Of course, this place erupts. And he goes, "Too bad, they're all mine." I've never seen an audience turn on someone so fast. You would have thought this was ECW One Night Stand and he was John Cena. Like, I mean, I thought I was gonna, shoes are getting thrown at him. You don't mess with the kids' Roblox cards. These kids were mad. But that was the beauty of it. I wrestled Angel in the main event in a little bit of a bizarro world style matchup where everybody loved Angel for the first time in his life. Even his parents don't love him. And oh man, I made those kids not like me. I knew what I had to do. I knew I had to upset some kids. And it was honestly such a blast. Caster and Kuma against BN Sane and Jake Dvorak showing off some fantastic underground work. A really clean and fun tag match. Everybody looked fantastic in it. And then honestly, again, such a crazy fun match. We had a triple threat of Joe Starr versus Doc Holliday versus Christopher Black. Three, again, underground darlings that I've helped really prepare and push up into the scene. I mean, obviously, Doc's been in the game for 20 years. I didn't prepare him, but he's helped prepare us and getting them to have such fun chaos in front of these kids. These kids were eating it up. They're watching moonsaults to the outside. They're watching crazy, crazy, crazy athletics on display. Joe Star is no small man watching him throw himself out of this ring. And these kids absolutely loved it. And because of the success of that charity show, they were like, hey, would you want to do something in the Milford Mall? And of course we do. Of course we do. So that's how that kind of came together from there.
Say, Gabe, real
Nice.
quick.
Mhm.
Uh, I wanted to ask you. I've worked a few of your shows now, and a lot of the guys that are regulars on the show, like LJ Wash and
Mhm.
Castor
Mhm.
and Doc Holliday and stuff
Yep.
like that. You guys, one of the things, like Rick was saying, that you guys seem everything is, so cool the way you guys all work together. You guys, I noticed, are wicked tight.
Mhm.
Like, like, have you known a lot of these guys, like your regulars like Castor and stuff, for since before high school or something? And then another question would be: is Mikey Anarchy your partner, business partner, or just your tag partner in the Underground Pillars?
We'll start with the first one. Most of these guys, besides Mikey Anarchy, I've only met recently. I met Angel through my start in backyard
I love
wrestling.
Angel.
Before I turned and got professionally trained, I met Angel through backyard wrestling because he promoted the show I debuted in the backyard for. Fun fact, it's a very silly story. I'll make it quick. I had such a bad first backyard wrestling match, and I was so unbelievably disappointed in myself that 1 week later, I went to PAPW for my first ever class. That's how poorly I felt I did. I was like, this is so bad that that's horrendous. I was like, I need to go
Mm.
somewhere. And Flash Waller taught me how to lock up. Um, I watch a nice young Jermaine Marbury help me with my up and overs because I have footage of it. I had someone recording out for my first ever class that I went to. So really cool to see the growth and progression from there, of course. And so Angel is actually the co-owner of the TF crew. Me and him split it 50-50. We
Okay.
that is where that comes from. Mikey is a big help and a big, I would call him like a staff member, you know what I mean? Nice staff member. And he is, my tag partner in the underground pillars.
They're all
Um,
staff members. I noticed they all jump in and help everywhere. Because when I was in the
yep.
back at that Bristol show in September, I think it was,
Mhm.
um, what a fun time. But all the guys were like right there. Hey, can I help you with this, Otis? Otis, can I do this? Can I do?
Yep.
They're just no, man. I'm telling them, you got your thing to worry about. I'll worry about me. But thank you.
Yeah.
The guy's very everybody and Castor. To me, he's like a son to me. I don't know why. He's a sweetheart of a guy.
He's so lovable. I actually met Castor. Fun fact. Oh God, what's 2026 now? 3-4 years ago, I'd probably say three. We'll call it a three. In a backyard. I found a backyard company on Instagram, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to watch these kids and see what they got. And by kids, they half of them ended up being older than me. And I started plucking ones that I really liked that I thought were super, super talented. Castor being one of them. Castor is actually by far one of the worst backyard wrestlers there. On a scale of backyard wrestling, he was lower when I saw him there, but his work ethic was insane. The little things, trying to help everybody, trying to help carry stuff to the build, whatever they had to do. Hey, can I get a hand? He's the first one to jump up and provide help. And that's what stuck out to me. And I was like, I know he had the charisma. I go, we could fix this in ring stuff. We had like Tony Cheney was someone who's really helped kind of push him forward. We've had Doc Holliday help push him forward a lot. We could get these guys to come in here and start fixing this stuff and getting them up to a professional speed. But man, the talent and the hard working. Same thing with Christopher Black. Now, lucky for him, he was uberly talented in the ring as well as a super hard worker. So super easy with Christopher Black. I mean, again, from that backyard mindset, never touched a day of training, understands limb targeting, limb control, heat, comebacks, like all this stuff. You're like, whoa, who taught you this? Like a typical person doesn't know this stuff. And I was like, all right, you got something. And so that's how we met. LJ Wash I met through GTS, which is Grimm's Toy Show. It's a online YouTube wrestling show that I wrestle under that about 1.3 million subscribers. Grimm has had the likes of a young MJF on the show. He's had for the other end of the spectrum, Tito Santana has been on the show. Like complete like crazy list of people have been on Grimm's Toy Show. I got to participate on a card with Thunder Rosa with Grimm. So, really, really awesome opportunity. That's where I met LJ. And again, you see an LJ. His first match, you were like, it's the drizzling poop. You know what I mean? It is nothing. But man, that kid had charisma. And that's what I love. He had energy. He could move. He was having fun. He was dancing in there. I was like, yeah, all right, there's something there. And that's how it all started.
Just
It's awesome.
we're allowed to we don't censor ourselves on this show, just for the record.
Oh, I have to practice for
Yeah.
Milford because I'm not allowed to
Okay,
swear in Milford,
gotcha,
and that's going to
gotcha,
be really hard for me.
Well, you
gotcha,
could keep
gotcha.
practicing.
So, tell me about your social media presence, your YouTube presence. I've never seen anything like it, and it's one of those things I was talking about, like I said, with Quint, aka Bloodsaw.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you used him to film some stuff at the school one day.
Mm-hmm.
I remember correctly. And he said that he doesn't understand what's going on, but you guys get views, tons and tons of views. And I find it, you guys have like, I don't know how many subscribers you have, but it's quite a few.
You have an
And
outstanding following.
yeah, yeah. And it's just, I follow, it's just, the following, it's kind of amazing. The follows, the views, and you guys, some of it's entertaining, and I don't know, man. I don't get it. And how do you guys handle this, getting with the algorithms and all that crap?
I'm a social media guy at heart, so that's what I went to college for, and that's everything. I've always wanted to be a social media guy since I was a little young kid watching YouTube growing up. So that's always been my passion, and translating that to wrestling and even outside of wrestling, which is general entertainment, always been a major, major goal and idea of mine. Honestly, and this is crazy. I think it's really fun that we get to talk about this. One of my biggest supporters in social media and people that push me to continue creating and continue doing dumb things for views. But that, when you continue to do dumb things for views, you evolve on how to actually properly do things, of course, learn the algorithm, all the good stuff. Mario Mancini. Believe it or not, it was going to those Monday classes with Mario and sitting down with Mario. Mario was like, I look at your TikTok, kid, and I don't like it, but man, you're getting numbers. And I'm like, thank you, Mario. He's like, you getting paid? I'm like, yeah, we're starting to get to that point. He's like, well, keep doing it then. I'm like, oh, okay, Mario. Whatever, yeah. And Mario was actually one of the biggest supporters of my early wrestling creation, like content creation journey,
Right.
and kept pushing me to create more because it was working. And that instilled confidence in me to continue creating and got us to the point where I am now. I've been blessed. I had a viral series on Instagram of actually taking like some of our RTF crew wrestlers, and it was called cooking white people food for my black friends to prove
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
I've
not all
been
white people food tastes like something
I've been
nasty, right?
Ambrosia sucks,
Oh,
by the
that was
way.
terrible. That
I've been watching
I
this.
ate that behind the scenes. That this is horrendous. I don't know
It
who even
is.
came up with this.
Yeah,
That series in itself, through the multiple episodes, has garnered about 6 million combined views. We've only
that's
done three
amazing.
episodes,
That's
and
amazing.
that has not only given me a bigger platform, it's given Caster a bigger platform, Doc Holliday a bigger platform, LJ when he appeared on an episode a bigger platform, and we're using the social media game to amplify everything we're doing in the ring. It's it. I keep TF Crew linked in my bio on Instagram, so as millions of people are seeing my profile, the TF Crew gained another couple hundred followers and got 100,000 views on the TF Crew Instagram page just because of that. We're always promoting, always looking to create content, create viral stuff that people can enjoy, whether it's wrestling or not wrestling. I also think about the little video me and LJ did in the PAPW facility, which was a spinoff of Drewski's Would Have Been Records. And it was where we were auditioning people to sign to our company, right? And it was just a silly skit video, but ended up really doing really well on YouTube. Thousands of views on YouTube for short form content, hundreds of thousands of views from on some of those clips. And it's clips in the with the PAPW sign in the background, in us in the PAPW building, just chatting it up and messing with people, and it was really cool. And I think the funniest interaction that I got from it was Brad Baller then reaches out to me and he goes, "You got Grim in the PAPW building? That just doesn't feel right." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a weird world we live in, man. We do some funny stuff out here." And he's like, "It's kind of cool. That's my childhood right there." And I never thought he'd be in a PAPW building. And I was like, "Here he is. Here he is." And that little interaction with Brad was really really funny, and I got to have a bunch of those. But also, at the end of the day, we would never had that opportunity without PAPW, without Mario Mancini, Paul Roma. Paul Roma gave me so much advice on how to run shows, promoting shows, and everything, that we would have never had that opportunity without them. And to be able to get hundreds of thousands of views on the PAPW logo sitting right behind us as we're sitting at that desk that we were doing it at is I really enjoyed that, because then that put more eyes on PAPW. And they
Right.
absolutely deserve it, because they have been such a huge help to everything I do at the TF Crew and everything I do as just a promoter in general. Paul Roma was really one of the first ones who gave me a lot of promoting advice, and I cannot thank him enough for it, because look at the beautiful journey we're on now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Otis, do you have anything that you want to shoot out to Gabe?
No, I'm very excited about the 15th, February
Mm.
15th at the Milford Mall. And both you and I, Rick, will be there working at the show. Um,
Absolutely.
um, Getting all the scoops and whatnot. I do
The
need to
news.
talk to you, Gabe, though, and,
Mm.
and find out you know, where we're gonna go from here with all of that.
Of course,
So
yeah.
we'll get together.
I'm so excited for you guys to see it. I think one of the best things that people have said about the TF Crew show, so we have some audience members who have been at every single show from the backyard all the way until now, and that speaks to our loyal fan base. Is that one of them comes up to me? I met him at an AEW show actually, and he's been at every single show. He goes, "I will support you guys until I literally can't until I can't walk anymore." I said, "Okay." At the time, I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Every single show he's been to, fantastic guy. His name is Mike, one of the best fans ever. So supportive, first one to buy a ticket every single time, and Mike comes up to me at the end of our last show, Syndicate Siege, and he goes, "Man, one thing is that every single show just somehow gets better. It somehow improves. There's something that's improved upon every single show, and every single show just continues to just shock me with how much you guys can grow." And I think that's the epitome of the TF Crew is we're young guys. I'm the first one
Yes.
to admit it.
Yeah.
Some people don't like the fact that we're young guys, but I just think that there's so much more time for me to grow. There's so much more time for me to learn. Being young, I'm not starting this game super super late in life where I have to figure it out now. It's now or never. Now I'm allowed to make mistakes, but
Yeah,
making
and you
those
don't hear
mistakes,
people.
yeah,
You don't hear people saying, "Oh, gee, I wish I never saw Shawn Michaels when he was a young guy."
Right, right, exactly. And I've had the blessing and honor to learn under so many people who have helped me in the wrestling ring to promoting all of the above, and to continue to grow, put on better and better shows. Now allows us to get to the point where in the mall, I think honestly my favorite match on the card right now, which I believe was announced, is I don't know if it's announced, but a little sneak peek for you here. It's going to probably come out today or tomorrow anyway, so I feel
Okay.
comfortable to share it here now. Is we're going to have the syndicate, and representing the syndicate will be Jimmy Controversy, Corey Duke, Jeremy Lacroix, and they will be going against Caster, Christopher Black, and Little Guido. And I think that is
No
just one
shit.
of the coolest matches that we were able to put on. And this is all about how at our previous show, the one that you were at, Otis, a bunch of some of the most beloved TF crew members came out to make the save after Angel betrayed Christopher Black, gave him the low blow, and a bunch of great TF crew members came and chased him out. Well, now it's time Syndicate versus TF Crew. TF Crew, though, decided to make a big call, and Little Guido is joining Team TF Crew for this. So I'm so unbelievably excited for that.
Wow,
Not only
this
is
is
that a
cool.
massive opportunity
Very
for the
cool.
5 gentlemen involved, but it's
Yeah,
just that's a blast. What a fun match.
that's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that. Little Guido, of course. That guy is. I remember him in Japan. I'm gonna
Yep,
tell you a
the shoot
story. I'll
disc.
tell you. Yeah, as a shooter, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And UWFI in
Mm-hmm.
Japan, he wrestled under his name James Stone.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, I saw him. I'm going to tell you both this wonderful story. I saw him years before he ever got signed, probably around the time he went to Japan. He wrestled at the North Haven Fair for this company, Northeast Championship Wrestling, which was run by the time. Working under the promoter at the time was 60s pop star Tommy Jeanette, who was very popular and he loved the world of wrestling and he ran this company. She's up until like the early to mid 90s. And I never, I forgot about the guy. Then a few years later, there he is on ECW TV as Little Guido. So that's all. He is he's a hell of a guy. I've had the chance to talk to him a couple times since at conventions and such, and man, he is fun. So yeah,
What he's such a funny guy when I
yeah,
first contacted him out for the opportunity. And so he was super kind. I hopped on a phone call with him, super nice, super easy to talk to and figure everything out with. And he goes, as much as I'd love to be the main event, he's got that raspy voice. He goes, you know, maybe last year, but this year too old. So you got something easy for me. And I was like, oh, you're just such a legend, dude. I mean, like, I was like, man, you could have told me to jump, and I would have said how high. Like, what a legend, what a funny dude, such a cool dude. I'm so excited to meet him in person. I mean, it's so cool. And this is what I'm really most excited for the match is not even the match. It's just the fact that now someone like Jeremy Lacroix, who I don't think should have aligned himself with the syndicate, but is still a awesome up and coming young professional wrestler, now gets
mhm,
to put Little Guido on his resume. Same thing
yeah,
for Corey Duke. Same thing for Jimmy Controversy out of Jersey. And then same thing for our TF crew guys. Christopher Black and Caster get to tag and learn under Little Guido, get to plan a match with Little Guido. And you know what I mean? That kind of learning right there is that I mean that's the best kind of lesson you can get, in my opinion.
right,
Mm.
right. I do have a question. I don't know if you want
Sure.
to answer it.
Oh, I like
So
answering things.
yeah, we'll see. You were recently, well, I don't know. So, anything that we ask here, I can always either cut this out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the building that you recently ran in Bristol, Connecticut?
The Lincoln Room.
The Lincoln Room, of
Yep.
course. Now, there was a little controversy with that
Yep.
building and another promoter.
Mm-hmm. I
And
yeah.
would you like to speak about that? Because they've put out on social media quite a bit and continue to,
Yep.
Yeah.
regardless. And it seems to think that, they seem to think that they run the city of Bristol, Connecticut, and that everybody needs permission from them, and that everybody is trying to run them out of town, which I do not think is the case at all. I mean,
I
excuse me, I'm sorry, before
no, no, please.
there is three separate companies, well, there was four, but now there's three running out of the city of Bristol, Connecticut.
Yep.
Mm.
I think first is TF Crew is not running out of Bristol. We don't Bristol,
Well,
Connecticut's not our home.
you do run there some on occasion.
Yeah, we're a traveling circus. That's
Right.
the best way to put it. We're a
Yes.
traveling
Yes.
circus. And I'm going to do my again, I am 22 years old. I'm going to do my absolute best to not talk crap, not be negative. I'm just going to try to lay out the exact facts as I saw them.
Right.
We Googled, and by we I mean me and Angel, we're gonna pull back the curtain because me and Angel Googled venues near me on Google Maps.
Right.
Scroll through. Oh, this looks cool. Ooh, email this brewery. Oh, we are now we have a good connection at a cool little brewery that you might see a TFCrew show out soon. Cool. Ooh, email this one. Email this one. Click on Lincoln Room. It looks nice inside. Yeah, it's like there's no email. Oh, it's just a phone number. I was like, all right, let's call. Can't hurt, right? Call. It's a dude named Mike, Marine veteran. What a cool, funny guy too. Great stories and also a veteran, right? So immediately I'm, hi sir, how you doing? Talk professional. And he's like, I don't like the online thing. Come down on Wednesday, come see the place, see if you want to use it. I said, works for me, right? That whatever you say, sure. So we go down Wednesday. It's a beautiful space. He's like, another wrestling company runs here, so wrestling's fine here. You know, blah blah blah. He goes, you guys are young kids. And again, to speak to the kindness of Mike, the venue owner, he's like, you guys are young kids. I don't want to see you lose money. Did not charge us as much as he could have or should have. So he's like, I don't want to see you guys lose money. I want to see the show succeed. I'd like to support young business owners. Here, we look at the contract. Such a fair deal, unbelievably fair deal, and we're like, sounds great. We've never ran in Bristol before. We're typically near the New Haven area, but that's our goal. We're looking to expand, looking to go to new states, the whole fun stuff. So we're like, cool, let's do it. Set the date. Everything's great. Cool. About a week before the show, that's when things started hitting the fan. Um, I hear about this person, Ashley, like talking very negatively about me, my wrestlers, everything about what we do. And then gets back to Grim somehow, because then she starts messaging Grim from Grim's Toy Show.
Mm.
And Grim's like, hey Gabe, because me and Grim are very close. Me and Grim joke that I'm like his son, right? Because I looked similar to him when he was my age, and like we made all the jokes under the sun that he's my dad. And I talked with Grim a little bit. I talked with Ice T, who's like a really close friend of mine, and also Grim's just like on three, like a little three-way conversation about the situation. And we're like, we were never told that this was an exclusive building and that we couldn't run here. I literally found this place on Google Maps. If I
Right.
would have like dug through, like I had heard of kaiju. I've never been to a kaiju show. I've never
Right.
seen a kaiju show. I didn't know where kaiju was out of. I just found building on Google Maps and was like, oh, looks like a cool spot. We play the whole song and dance there, and I then message her. It was hard. I had to like figure out how to like add her. I'm a Facebook boomer too, so I'm terrible at Facebook. So trying to figure out how to message her on Facebook was not cute on my side as well. I messaged her and I tried to be so like I was like, I don't want any bad blood.
Professional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like again, had said nasty stuff about me, my talent. She thought that Jimmy Controversy ran my company, and I'm like, that's a bigger insult than anything else you could have said negative about me. Is that you think I'm Jimmy Controversy? And all the negative stuff. And I'm like, hey, I explained the situation, found it on Google Maps, explained how we're just two young upcoming promoters looking to run fun shows. We run a very diverse product. Mike was super kind to us. We've absolutely promised Mike that we're going to run a great show. We also have references. Mario Mancini has said to me multiple times that no outside people have ever taken such good care of the PAPW facility than us. Because I mean, I mopped the floors. I went crazy. I went over doing it with the cleaning, but on purpose because you let us use your building and that is such a big honor and responsibility. I want to make sure it's spotless. And I'm like, I have references for the building. Like, you know, I mean, Mario can always say that we did a great job taking care of the spot, the whole thing. And I'm like, hey, I'd love to hop on a phone call. Like, I know the texting thing can sometimes get a little wonky. I'd love to hop on a phone call, just air everything out. And I don't want any bad blood. And then the response to that was the craziest part. It was like, no, I've heard you're manipulative and you steal things and you're terrible and this and that. And I can't believe you're taking advantage of an old man like Mike, and like said just horrendous things about me. And then I wrote some back like, well, if you want to work this out, let me know. Like I got a show to run in a week. I don't have time to just yip yap back and forth.
Right.
And again, I'm going to tell you exactly what the venue owner said. Again, I am not trying to like talk negatively upon anybody here at all, but the venue owner said that he'll never let Kaiju run there again because she then cursed him out extensively on the phone and said really poor and rude things to him on the phone. And that's just gross to me. He's a veteran, great guy giving opportunities to people, including your own
Respect.
company, right?
Yeah. Respect your veterans. Yeah.
MMW just ran in the Lincoln Room, and Joe Montana is a very close friend of mine. I'm the one who told Joe Montana about the building.
Okay.
Joe was like, hey, I'm looking for something in Connecticut. I go, here's Mike's number. Give him a call, see if it works. I can't promise you that it will, but if you can, here's Mike's number. Like, try it. He goes, okay.
Right.
MMW just had a killer show there. I would probably say probably just hit about triple digit fans. Like, great show. I was on it. Some of my TF crew guys were on it. Some big names were on it. It was a blast. Really fun. Flash was on it, right? I mean, like, it was a great time. And I'm just like, why are we gatekeeping these things? And then like, apparently people tell me that, like, even though like they don't have exclusive rights to the building, that you're not supposed to run in buildings that other companies run in. I didn't even know she was running there. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just a
Yeah,
guy looking to put his wrestling, or not
you're
my,
looking to promote.
yeah,
My
just
other
looking
question
to
is,
first show.
how many people did you bring to that building?
Like fans wise, or like when I
How many
first was,
fans filled that building?
at our last show, Syndicate Siege, we our final number came down to 134 fans in the building.
And that's at the Lincoln Room.
Yes,
And what about the first show before that? Do you remember the numbers there?
we did 107.
Mm. I believe that the last numbers, now I can get the numbers, that the last numbers for the Kaiju show, the last Kaiju show there was about 30. So I think that that speaks volumes in itself.
Yeah, I never wanted bad blood, and I still don't want bad blood, but I
Right.
also don't respect somebody that's going to curse out a veteran that is giving out fantastic opportunities in this venue. And wrestling's dangerous, so, like, you know what I mean. I would totally understand if he didn't want to let people wrestle. And also, again, to
Yeah,
just state facts, not speak negatively, she damaged the building, not me.
I believe that. I believe that. Yeah.
Mike, the venue owner, showed me where she damaged and where he had to do a bunch of repairs to the floor. I never damaged the building. Yeah, we smashed doors, we smashed each other with chairs, barbed wire. I don't think we did any thumbtacks in the building. Yeah, we did some dangerous stuff. Never damaged the building. Always left it super clean. Mike has continuously told me, let me know your next date, we'll love to have you again. Again, it's just like, I don't know how you could speak so negatively and act like you own the building when you damaged it and I didn't.
Right.
And Mike has said really nice things about me, to be frank. And me and Angel, he says hardworking, blah blah, but a bunch of nice things that I don't need to repeat. It's just the fact that we haven't damaged it. We're trying to do something positive, and I don't know, that whole thing was just a crazy situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we get out of here, we're going to talk a little bit about Bristol, Connecticut, a little bit some more, but we're going to move over to Pure Vanguard Wrestling.
I love Pure Vanguard. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So was it the last show that it was in October 11th? It was my birthday actually.
Hmm.
You were teaming with Angel Santiago
Yep.
and you got turned on by him and Broadway Joe.
Yep.
What's going what's going on going forward? Do you know?
I I
Do you
I made the
see?
mistake of teaming with Angel. I think that's
Yeah.
A. A is like, should have never teamed with Angel to begin with. We brought Caster into it too for a show that I was
Hmm.
unable to make. I feel terrible for Caster.
Mm.
And Broadway Joe has made it abundantly clear that he is not ready to retire or give it up on professional wrestling, and that's fine with me. My hope, I want to get my hands on Angel. I want to get my hands on Broadway Joe. So again, if he doesn't want to hang up the boots, that's fine with me. I'm totally fine. Me and Caster tag team action, that's totally fine. But again, if he's scared, he wants to duck. No, I'm a touch younger than Broadway Joe. I understand it. I'd probably run circles around him for a couple hours, and he'd get tired and fall down. I also just need to get my hands on Angel. So any way
Right.
possible, whether that's a triple threat with Caster, I love competing against Caster, whether that's a singles match, I don't care. I'm here to get my hands on Angel. He made this personal, a kick to the chest. We all know my background with the open heart surgery, the heart issues that I've dealt with. Again, a kick to my chest is extremely dangerous. Looking to hurt me, not looking to just make a statement. Brought it to that next level, so I'm willing to bring it to that next level. Whatever it's signed up for, a regular professional wrestling match, all the way to whatever anybody's sick mind could come up with, I'm ready and wanting to hurt Angel in that environment. Pure Vanguard is such a beautiful place. The fans are so awesome. The talent is so awesome. Everything from leadership down to the talent and fans is such a great, fun production and a great set of people that I want to do them all a service and hurt Angel and take Angel out of Pure Vanguard. Let me tell you, because that's going to make Pure Vanguard that much better if nobody's got to be bothered by the Puerto Rican prince for a couple weeks.
They're
I,
going to let Caster get in your corner, seeing as how Angel's got Joe.
Yeah, I think that's only fair.
Yeah,
I think Caster would absolutely come out and support me. And you know what? If the matchmakers went the other way, they said Caster Angel 1-on-1, I'm there in Caster's corner 1,000%. It's not. I'm not a selfish person. I'm not here for a selfish game. If the powers that be said it's, it's Caster and Angel 1-on-1, I'm 1,000% there in Caster's corner, going to support him every step of the way because he's doing this for something bigger than just pure Vanguard. He's doing this something for the wrestling business and tossing the Puerto Rican prince back to where he belongs, whether that's Miami, Florida, or I don't know, his dad's house. I couldn't tell you. Wherever he's got to go, and it ain't here.
one of the good things about Pure Vanguard, and you're
Mm,
talking about the company and the people that own the company,
mhm.
uh, the business people, Doc,
Yeah, I love Doc.
him and his son Warren,
Yep.
they care about the community
Hmm.
in the area as a whole. They work with other companies.
Yep.
They've got Nick Mitchell doing, I guess, talent relations. Nick is
Yep.
a great guy as well. And it's wonderful that Doc is just here he wants to put something together as like, he wants to put his stamp on professional wrestling, a sort of old school style of
Hmm.
professional wrestling. And it's kind of amazing. Doc is a great guy, probably the kindest gentleman you'll ever meet, to be
Yep.
honest with you. Like seriously. And he is just one of the things I love is that he loves to work with other companies. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that
Absolutely.
is just to me, that's just phenomenal. And
Selfless.
yeah,
He actually
absolutely.
shows up at Paradise Alley and watches the guys wrestle. Like he comes and he comes to training and watches them train,
Yeah.
Yep.
which is really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came to dinner with us after a show one night. We always go to the diner down the road
Yep.
and like I said, he's just him and I think that him leaving his mark with Pure Vanguard, is just it's gonna be it's a really great place to work. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Yeah.
I've been able to build a close relationship with Doc in the recent few months, actually. And
Right.
yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. Definitely some business was definitely talked about when I was with him recently, which all such positive things for just professional
Right.
wrestling in the state of Connecticut. Some really awesome things coming up that I'm really excited for as we get closer for things to start getting released. Vanguard is such a great place, and that's I think it all starts with the head of it being Doc. What a kind, giving person, just everywhere in the wrestling community. He was actually at the last show, Syndicate Siege, and just again, all conscious of my time because he knows as the promoter, I'm running around doing a million things at once. But just it's such positive things to say about the show, about the experience, about growing, and what a kind gentleman. And I'm so excited for us to get closer down the line to where some of these things are going to get released and talked about of some of the things that Vanguard and TFCrew will be doing together. And I mean, like you said best, I think we're stronger in numbers. I think together we create just something beautiful and amazing. And we're all about just helping each other when we want to be helped. And this
Right.
is it. What a giving person. I can't say enough good
Yeah.
things about Doc.
Yeah. Right now, Connecticut is really hot for professional wrestling. There's a
Yep.
number of organizations. I mean, I think there's pretty much every weekend there's at least one show, whether it be
Mm-hmm.
a Friday or Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes on a Sunday, you know. And growing up in Connecticut, obviously, it wasn't always like that, but now wrestling is so hot. Independent wrestling, people love alternate choices, you know what I mean? Just
Yep.
for their style of professional wrestling and to have so much wrestling in Connecticut, to me it's just amazing that there's something to do every weekend when it comes to that. Something that, the three of us love with all our hearts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the gift of choice is amazing. And I think the gift of collaboration is even better, where
Mm.
absolutely.
Doc has even helped teach me little stuff like I know that all future TF Crew dates are going to get sent to Doc so that we don't overlap on future dates and like little things like
Right.
that, which I've
He's
never
big
I've never
about that.
thought of to do. You know what I mean? Again, I'm young. I'm a new promoter. I've never thought to do stuff like that. But me and Doc have those open, friendly conversations where he's like, "Hey, you know what I mean? This is a really good idea for you to do because then now we won't overlap. We don't have to share weekends and we could continue just to help each other out more. And that's great. Little things like that are little great teaching moments that Doc has given me and just show that there's so much wrestling in Connecticut. But when we're all on the same page and working and helping each other, is we're allowing fans to maximize all of this great professional wrestling in the state of Connecticut. I can't say enough great things about BST, Vanguard. Obviously, I can always say my own company, TFCrew, PAPW, TOS has got some fun. Like, there's just so much Fight Life. There's so much fun stuff that's coming all around this like nearby Northeast area in like Connecticut and Mass and all that fun stuff. You can't beat it. This
Yeah.
this is what I as someone who's wrestled in Jersey a lot. I spent a lot of my independent time in New Jersey and training, wrestling, the whole nine yards. Connecticut's starting to rival the amount of wrestling that New Jersey has, and New Jersey is like 3 to 5 shows a weekend, bare minimum. bare minimum.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
It's crazy. Let me tell you, I over the summer before I got my new position that I'm working at right now, I was doing like 4 or 5 shows in a weekend. It was crazy.
That's great. That's awesome. Otis, do you have anything else before we get out of here?
No, sir. I'm just very excited, like I said, about the
Yeah.
Milford show, and I will get to see you guys again at Pure Vanguard show.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's going to be a back-to-back weekend. We're going to get to hug up on you, Gabe.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun. I am so excited. And what a card that and I'm still urging all fans that I know and all friends I have to go to that Vanguard show the day prior. I'm not the person that's like, oh, the fan's gonna be burnt out and not come to my show. No, that show is gonna be so fun and so good. Don Freeze versus Wrecking Ball, like I want to be front row for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what a great just set of wrestling we have coming to Connecticut. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to both shows. It's going to be, I mean, I don't think I ever get burnt out on professional wrestling, to be honest with you. Between
Mm-hmm.
watching everything on TV, I watch a lot of wrestling, like
Mm-hmm.
seriously. I mean, I try to keep up on a lot and then going to shows, it's like, geez, you might be tired at the end of the night, but burnt out on watching wrestling, I don't think that's really even possible.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I can't. The live show environment is just too it's too much fun. I
Yeah,
think just being there in person, it's thrilling, all of it.
absolutely. Okay, why don't you throw out where our listeners can find the TF crew and yourself?
Yeah, we're on almost every single platform. If you look up TFCrew on YouTube, you're going to see a wide variety of things from a wide variety of eras, and it's going to show you all about the TFCrew and the history that we have. If you're also looking for us on Instagram, that's another primary platform we use, TFCrew, and also you can find myself, Gabe Sayers, Sayershs, which stands for Heartstopper. On Instagram, you can see my viral cooking series where my black friends eat my atrocious white people food, and you see all the fun that we're having on there. TikTok, same as well. Gabe Sayers, you'll find me. The series is also translated pretty well to TikTok, with garnering over millions of views on TikTok as well. Um, you can find us anywhere and everywhere. You could probably Google us and find us at this point. I'm very much trying to put us in the front of eyes. So you look up our name, you'll find us somewhere or the other.
Yeah. Gabe, I want to say thank you for stopping by here today.
Of
It's
course.
been a blast talking to you.
Yeah, I love talking, as y'all probably saw. I yip yap, I flap my gums, and you're probably like, man, kid, shut up. I can't ask another
Well,
question. But
this hour went by really quick, I'll tell you that. So
Mhm.
I didn't realize it had actually been an hour. So
Hey, that means we did something right. So
absolutely. So absolutely. So thank you again. We'll have to have you again.
absolutely. Thank you again so much.